in
I was
3.
at the White House
new?
lighting the menorah with the president.
Okay, let's.
okay.
Saying.
Fran?
Super Joe.
All right, Kevin.
Okay, Paul, calm
Let's
me down.
start in 3, 2.
Oh, no.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are dialing in from. I am Kevin Pillowy from Yahoo Entertainment. I am very excited to be here with you all moderating the official press conference for Hotel Transylvania, Transformania. That is a lot of syllables in 3 words. Available only on Amazon Prime Video, January 14th. The 5 awesome entertainers we have with us today need no introductions, but I will introduce them anyway if they would like to wave or raise their trophies in the air. First up, she plays Mavis, headstrong daughter to Count Drac, and one of the youngest looking 100-something-year-olds you will ever meet, the multi-talented Selena Gomez.
Hi.
He is the hilarious, lovable goof Jonathan, husband to Mavis and thorn in his dad-in-law Drac's side, the hilarious, lovable goof Andy Samberg.
Thank you for saying goof twice. Appreciate that.
He has the greatest accent in the history of American television and also plays the ravishingly beautiful bride of Frankenstein Eunice, Fran Drescher.
Whoa.
Hey. How are you?
And he, like Mr. Samberg, is another former SNL great whose Griffin the Invisible Man becomes frighteningly visible this time, David Spade.
Yay.
And last but not least, he plays himself, a good-humored, kind-hearted, 2,500-year-old Egyptian mummy party animal, Keegan-Michael Key.
Yay.
At least a couple of those things are true, Keegan.
Yeah, couple.
Yeah. Guys, big congrats on the 4th and final Hotel Transylvania movie. I watched it with my daughters. We all really enjoyed it. As someone with in-laws, I definitely connected with, I think, the overarching theme that you should faithfully love and fully trust your son-in-law, or terrible things will happen to everybody and everything.
Oh, wow.
And
Well.
my daughters loved anytime Drac or really anyone else was met with extreme physical pain. So they laughed a lot.
Oh, good. That's good.
Guys, normally I'd start with a few of my own questions, but we got so many submissions from my fellow press folks here on the line today. I'm just going to dive right into theirs so we can get through as many as possible. First question, preceded by a compliment, I should say. I love that this film really flips the script on a lot of fan favorite characters. How much were you all aware of what the new character designs would look like when you guys were going to voice these roles, and what were your reactions when you saw your new designs? I think this one would go to Andy, David, and Keegan, who all get some very handsome new looks this time around. Andy, you want to start?
Yes, although it froze for me just right before you said that. So,
Oh, sorry.
how aware was I that the character designs were going to change?
Yes. And how did you respond when you saw your new design?
I love the new design. Johnny becomes monstrificationized. I believe that's the correct word. And
Perfect.
he goes, basically like full Burning Man backpacker meets Godzilla, which I think is something I dreamed about looking like as a child anyhow. So it was kind of a dream come true for me.
How about you, David?
I play Griffin, the Invisible Man, who is sort of a bit of a scene stealer. Griffin is, they showed me during, and I was a bit surprised because they put out some pictures of Griffin, and I guess it wasn't what people thought, because they wanted Griffin to be better looking, like Bradley Cooper or something. And I'm like, Griffin's like this goofy ding dong that hangs out with the monsters, and a little out of shape, red hair. They were looking for more of a Prince Harry or something, but I think it's funnier that Griffin looks funnier because it's for kids and families, and I think cartoons should be funny looking, and so I'm 100% into my Griffin.
Keegan, how about you? Were you surprised when you saw what was inside that mummy wrap?
I was surprised. I did not. I expected him to be bigger. I expected Marie to be bigger. Like, I thought it was like, to me, it was like one revolution of wraps. So I thought he'd be like this big kind of fat, corpulent guy. And then when all the wraps come off and you see that he's just, first of all, I was super short, but he's really working the jowls. That was my favorite thing. I've just got jowls for days.
Our jowls,
But I like that. And it's really great because it helps inform you as to what you want to do vocally then, because it had a completely different voice, for him. And he was great.
This one is for Selena and Fran. You've brought these characters to life for nearly 10 years, and they're wonderful outsiders. So what advice do you have for those who in real life are struggling to fit in, to be like everyone else? Selena, do you want to start?
Oh man, that's a loaded question, because I could give you like, the like believe in yourself kind of answer. But I mean, I think it's a challenge, right? Every day you wake up and sometimes you can't sit there and make a choice. Sometimes you do feel those feelings. And I think it's important to take moments and breaks from social media personally. And I think it's just nice to be present and be with yourself for a bit. But it doesn't mean that you need to have a lot of friends and a lot of people around you to be cool. Cause like I have 4 friends and I think we're the coolest,
Us
We're
4?
definitely not, but we,
It's us 4, yeah.
Obviously.
Drax Pack, we're back.
We're back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fran, how about you? Same question for you.
I think that the most attractive thing you can be is yourself, and not give into peer pressure, not feel like you have to be like anybody else, so you have to twist yourself into a pretzel because you think that's what somebody else expects you to be. I think that every single day, the more you practice self-confidence in loving exactly who you are and doing exactly what makes your heart sing and nothing else, then you're on the right path to living a really successful life. Successful in the sense of being happy, both inside, and making kindness and compassion your compass is also something that brings value to your life and to those you touch.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing it wrong.
Next question is for Andy. I like this question because it's nice and crafty. What are the challenges in trying to bring comedic timing to an animated role?
You're right. I love talking about the craft. The challenge is there. It's not particularly challenging. I mean, we're on the 4th one here, not to like deflect, but you've seen the style of animation they do, which, in my opinion is one of the greatest things about these movies. It's so fun and exaggerated, and obviously kids love it. But when I watch it, it makes me giggle just seeing like the expressions and the gesticulations they give all the characters. So kind of like this time around doing the recording, you pretty much know they want you to go huge and insane. And then they are going to push that even further with the way they animate it, which is, it's very freeing. That there's no like, you're not going to get like, whoa, buddy, come on. That was too much.
Never too much.
Yeah.
Never bring it down.
For Selena, we have all loved watching Mavis grow and mature over the last 3 films. What can fans expect from her this time around?
It's been such a pleasure playing this character and also growing up, because it was so long ago that I was in a different phase of my life, and so it's actually wonderful to be able to kind of grow with this character. And it's been, she's definitely like, I think just tough, and she's not always demanded to be, like as big. She's just always she's always worrying, I think, and that matches my personality really well. I just want things to run smoothly. I actually understand what it's like to have differences between family members and things like that. And so it's nice that we're touching on such a real thing, but in such a, crazy way. It's fun.
David, we're going to get a little deep here. I'm going to warn you. This is the first time that your character Griffin has actually been seen. What do you think that symbolizes in a movie like this that's all about transformation?
Selena, what's the answer on this one?
Ah.
No, first of all, would like to say I love that I got to do these 4 movies with all these people. It was such a fun time, and I get so many nice comments from so many different older, younger people about watching them together, and it's been a blast. I just wanted to get that out there because it was a really cool thing to be a part of. And having Griffin be not seen was kind of interesting the whole time. So I'm just floating glasses, and it was nice to be a full-on character that was relating to other people. And I think that's going to be really fun for kids. It was a great hooky 4th idea because then it's a switcheroo and then everyone gets different. It's just like a fun visual thing. And like they were saying earlier, Andy was saying, when you see these jokes and you've got, you see them written on the page, and then when they add the animation to them, the jokes are like 3 times better because there's a joke behind you, there's a joke over here, and it just flushes it out so much that the movie turns into just more and more fun. And it's just so clever when you see what they can do. It's really not us, as we're adding one layer, and then what they do to it makes it even better. So they just really know what they're doing, and that's why these are so fun and proud to be a part of.
For Fran, you certainly found the secret to good live action comedy through The Nanny. What do you think is the secret to good comedy in animation?
I think physical comedy is very important. I mean, we did quite a bit of it on The Nanny, and I think that in animation, it's absolutely imperative. And you can do so much because it's such a make-believe world. I mean, you can contort characters in ways that they could never really do in real life. Even the best stunt person couldn't get away with some of the stuff that animated characters can do. So I think that that's a big, through theme of doing an animated movie is, how far can we physically take these characters to do funny and surprising things?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Fran, I remember one of the last times we spoke was at the Builds here in New York, and I remember you talking about how impressive the comedic ensemble in these films are. You compared it to Spinal Tap, and it is really impressive. And I just want to give a sort of a shout out to the wider cast in these films, because you got so many talents: Jim Gaffigan, Molly Shannon, Catherine Hahn, Steve Buscemi, now Brian Hall and Brad April. I'm sorry if I messed that up. Who've got to talk about in a moment their contributions. It's really just like a remarkable ensemble that comes together for these films. For Keegan, you've lent your voice to a number of animated movies, including several on the way. What has been the most rewarding part of the voice acting animation experience?
I would say the most rewarding part, to actually go back to what Andy was saying, is that concept of not having any limitations. That especially in these movies, like we were saying, that the look of the characters are so exaggerated that you get anything that you would have been busted for on a live action movie, you don't have to worry about. And that is the best freeing thing, because that's what you did. It reminds me of being a kid. When you were a kid and you played with the other friends, your imagination went everywhere, and there'd be times you're out at the field and playing and screaming, and all of that abandon. You get to channel that again as an adult when you're doing animated films, and everybody, and it's not only not frowned upon, it's encouraged. And so that to me is my favorite thing about working in this space.
I love, Keegan, that you and I both are like, we just like that no one gives us the note that we're being too big.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's the answer to the question to me and Andy. It's like there's just like no one's ever. No one's gonna tell you to take it down a notch, and that's like the best.
a real peek inside at our process.
And for Andy and Selena, it's been nearly 10 films since. It's been nearly 10 years since the first film was released. Did you guys, if you go back 10 years now, did you guys ever think this franchise would come this long, would last this long, would lead to 3 sequels like it has? Andy,
No.
You want to go first?
But I'm really glad it did. I think the reason is because kids love them so much. That's the real bottom line with these movies, which makes it such an easy call. You know, like they're just so infused with joy and positivity, and you know, I think everyone grew up loving these sort of classic monsters, and it's a new spin on it, and it's really fun for families, and that's why it's endured.
How about you, Selena? What were your expectations coming into this series 10 years ago?
Is she here?
Oh, we lost her, I think.
Did we lose her? Oh, shoot. Okay.
Keegan
Hopefully we'll get her
accidentally
back.
deleted her.
I said, oh, that was, yeah.
Wasn't me. It wasn't me,
No,
I
I
swear.
like it. What I
just,
like about this movie also is that it's really written funny. Parents really enjoy it as much as kids. And similarly, you know, certain jokes I think may go right over the kids' heads, but the parents get it and see the humor in it. And it's
It's
always
a good mix.
very positive. And look at the talent, you know, they're all very serious comic actors. So, you know, it really does.
Sometimes I'm too funny in the thing and they have to really bring me back.
Yeah, I've heard that many times. I've been given that as an example during my session.
They say,
Don't
It's
say
like,
David.
this.
the other thing, Kevin, I think it's interesting is the way that they portray the family dynamics, like how spouses and loved ones and girlfriends and everybody is working off of each other. Those dynamics are really well observed in the movies. I think they're really well observed, and
relatable, right?
Super relatable. Yeah, Fran. Where, you know, that sense where an adult can be laughing at a hard joke with a hard punchline, but also at the same time, there's this sense of like, oh my God, we do that. Me and my wife do that. You know, there's really, it's super deliciously relatable.
We're running out of time here, so I'm just going to go very quickly around the horn because it's another question we got a lot. From all indications, this will be the final Hotel Transylvania installment. What would you guys each say that you will miss most about this series? Fran, let's start with you.
I'll miss Eunice. I love her. I love the way they drew her, and I love her look, and I love that she is a bit of a matriarch to the monsters. You know, she really does. She gets wound up and screams a lot, but for the most part, she really cares about Mavis and her family, and her husband too. You know, Frank. So I will miss my character, Eunice.
Keegan.
I think I'm gonna miss the final products that we always see. They're done. The movies are really, really done on such a high level, and it's the rhythm of the movies and the spirit behind them that really, really kind of moves me. So in a way, I'm saying I'm gonna miss seeing them, because if indeed this is the last one, I'm gonna miss seeing that the new one comes out, because they're always really, really, really well done.
David.
I will. I do like when they come out. That's a good point. Like, because we did one. You're waiting for it to come out to see if it worked, and it's nice to be a part of something that works. And when it worked, it was fun. And then they're already talking about another one, so it's kind of fun. People are like, is there gonna be another one? You go, yeah, we're working on it. It's coming out soon. And then that comes out, and you see it, and you go, oh, good, it's funny again, you know. And then there's like, oh, there's gonna be another one, and to have it stop is kind of a bummer. But I'm glad we got, you know, seeing the fourth one. I'm glad they all were good quality, and if that's where they have to stop, that's where they have to stop.
And finally, Andy, take us home.
I mean, I don't like to admit that it's over. You know, if we say it's done, we're just caving to Sony, you know?
Yeah. Rapophobia.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll miss it all. It's been such a fun thing to do. I'll miss the swag bags, you know, I'll miss the junkets, I'll miss the
Selena.
record
We won't miss
sessions.
Selena because she's
So
back.
sorry, my internet literally just went out. We restarted the router. We're good.
Right.
But I didn't enjoy working with Andy at all, actually.
Oh, burn.
That's all she wants to add.
Wow.
No. But I did want to answer the question. I remember I was really excited to meet Andy because I watched all of like SNL and watching David too and everyone growing up. So I would have to say the first time being able to sit down with him, he made it so fun and easy. And if anything, like he's helped me kind of relax more in interviews and just kind of feel a little bit normal. He also had my back. I will never forget because they asked me like a dating question or something, and I don't do those. And Andy answered for me, and it was nice.
Remember when we all went to the Toronto Film Festival?
So
Oh
fun.
yeah, that was so fun.
All right, guys. Well, we are out of time. Selena, Andy, David, Fran, Keegan, thank you guys so much for joining us all today and providing
Thank
your
you.
insights.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Kevin.
And
Congrats
thanks
again
to
on that
Amazon
wonderful
for taking it on, and so everybody can watch it from their living
Yeah,
room.
absolutely.
Great.
Well said, Fran.
Yes.
Absolutely available
for the
only on
record,
Amazon
Fran
Prime
said-
Video, January 14th.
For the record, Fran said this movie's as good as Spinal Tap.
There's your
Andy,
headline.
is that a
There is-
scene from our movie?
Yes,
behind
we
you?
heard it. We all heard that.
There's your headline. All right. For the press folks, you'll be receiving your digital copy of this footage within 24 hours. Thank you guys all once again. Congrats on the film.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
Take care.
Good to see you.
Bye, peace.
Bye.
Bye, guys.